Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar. So glad to see all of you joining today. I'm just gonna ask all of you before we start, so more people join in. Just type in the chat where you're from, and then we're gonna wait for other people to join, and then we can start with the introduction of today's webinar.
Hello, how are you? This is Nada from Egypt. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Nada. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi, Maria Carolina. I see that you're from Colombia. Nice to meet you too. So I can see that we already have some people here. Just as a reminder for everybody, make sure that you keep your microphones off during the webinar so we can proceed smoothly with the webinar. But if you have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll try to cover all of them by the end of the webinar. Hello, LTR. I hope that I'm very sorry if I pronounce some names wrong. From Kyrgyzstan. Hi, Shiva. Nice to meet you. I think that we can start now, so other people can join a little bit after the introduction. So again, hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar, which is about AI screening getting hired in hospitality in 2025. We're very glad that you can join us. And over the next hour, we'll share practical strategies on how to stand out in today's competitive US hospitality job market. We're going to talk about everything from optimizing your resume for recruiters and AI systems to improving your LinkedIn presence, acing interviews in the US, and much more. So let's just quickly cover what we're going to cover today during the webinar. We're going to start with a quick introduction to Hospitality Academy. Then we're going to jump to resume tips for 2025. We're also going to talk about LinkedIn optimization, interview preparation, personal branding, common mistakes to avoid, the F1 visa, and finally, our programs, our location, and our partners. So I would like first to introduce today our amazing speakers that are joining us today. And first we have Camila Montero. And Camila has over 4 years of experience as a recruiter for global businesses, where she's reviewed thousands of resumes and conducted countless interviews. And she's really the person that knows exactly what US employers look for when hiring in hospitality, and she will be sharing insider tips on how to stand out in the job market. And we also have Christina Kimmich, who is an advisor here at Hospitality Academy. And she has guided hundreds of our students and professionals as they've transitioned into careers in the US. And together today, our speakers, they will give you both sides of the picture, what US employers expect and how you can prepare as a candidate to launch and grow your hospitality career. So now that you've met our speakers, let's dive right in. And to start off, Christina, I will give the floor to you so that you could give us a quick introduction about Hospitality Academy before we move into the practical tips. Sorry, Christina, you're on mute. No worries.
All right, then. My apologies. Great start. But who are we? We're Hospitality Academy. And what we provide is fully accredited bachelor's and master's programs with specialized hospitality qualifications, all being able to launch and advance your career in the United States. What our programs provide are structured to be able to support the F1 application. So we assist with the start of the program up until the end. So from admissions up until the enrollment process and assisting with the visa support, as well as the recruitment aspect. We guide throughout the entire process so that it makes it easier for our candidates to be able to, again, advance their career in the United States. Now, this is just a brief explanation, and I'll let Kami talk about the tips regarding the recruitment aspect.
Thank you so much, Christina, for giving us a little introduction about Hospitality Academy. So now let's dive into the heart of today's session, and Camila will walk us through how to craft a standout resume, optimize your LinkedIn, and prepare for American-style interviews.
Perfect, Kate. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. So to start, I will give you some resume tips for 2025 and what is really valued now when you see a resume or a CV, for example. So your resume is your first chance to impress US recruiters and most employers, and now are using the applicant tracking systems to filter applications before a manager ever sees them. So if I can give you 4 tips to update your resume would be keep it modern and ATS friendly. No photos, no graphics, no personal details like age or marital status. Those are not a standard in the US. Also to use hospitality specific keywords, for example, some American employers look for such as guest relations, event coordination, food and beverage, service, and luxury standards, for example. Also, another tip that I can give would be always tailor your resume for the job description. US recruiters can spot a generic resume instantly and show measurable results. For example, you can put in your resume improved guest satisfaction scores by 12%, let's say. Because in the US is very valued to show the results and also achievements than your skills, let's say, or responsibilities. So if you can provide a measurable and achievement that you did, that would be great and really valued in the US. So if we can go to the next, perfect. So now another thing that is very important that like in like the recruitment process and for the profiles that we look are the LinkedIn optimization. So for us, for all the people that are looking for a job, it's very important to have the LinkedIn updated. So recruiters check it all the time and sometimes even before calling you. So here's how to optimize your profile for the American market. I will give you 5 tips now. And the first tip that I would give would be to have a professional picture and a banner that reflects hospitality. Then to write a headline that's more than a job title, for example, hospitality graduate or guest relations or food and beverage, let's say. Also, to use the about section to tell a career story. Recruiters like me really like to see your motivation and direction, not just a list of jobs, just to know a bit about the person and how motivated they are to start working. And if you don't have much full-time experience, highlight your internships, projects, volunteer work, employers value initiatives. So, but most important, I think it's the network. So try to connect with alumni, comment on posts, follow hotel and restaurant groups, and try to get more identified with LinkedIn, like to update your profile, to know more people, to get more connections, and always keep this tone of very enthusiastic and very open to learn and to have new experiences working. The next, thank you. And now the interview preparation. These three sections, the two that I already explained, and these ones I think that they are the most important ones. For the interview preparation, US interviewers can feel different from those in other countries. So that's why I will give you some tips for the US recruiters, or how to uh, act in an interview with a US recruiter. They are usually very structured, and employers want to see both your skills and your personality. So, for example, a common question that you will hear in a hospitality interview will include, for example, tell me about a time you deal with a difficult guest, or how do you handle pressure during peak hours, let's say. So the best way to answer, I think, is using the STAR method. This method, as you can see here, is situation, task, action, and result. So let's say you start with a situation that you like set the scene. For example, we had a large group checking in at once, and the system crashed, and guests grew frustrated. So that's the situation. Then the task is how you like participate and what was your role in this situation. And you can say, for example, I stayed calm, communicated updates, and within 15 minutes had everyone checked in. And this is what you did, so it's the action. And finally, you share the result. So the manager praised my professionalism, and the group left a positive review. So you showed what was the problem, you showed how you take action with these, and you show the results. So that's a really good way to show your skills and also your personality, and they will appreciate that you are communicating this type of things. Um, don't forget that in the US, it's a standard to send a thank you email within 24 hours. So if you can send an email after your interview and say like thank you for like interviewing me, it shows respect and professionalism. So you can do it too. So the next, thank you. And personal branding. So in the US, recruiters pay close attention to your resume, to your LinkedIn, and to your interview answers. So they will be aware if you are not, like, if you have different information in these three things. So as you know, this is your personal brand, and it doesn't mean that it has to be perfect, but it has to be consistent. So show that you are motivated, a hospitality motivated professional, that you are passionate about service and eager to grow in your career in the US. And even if you have limited experience, highlight your soft skills. Also, try to highlight your achievements, your measurable achievements. It would be great too. And show adaptability and communication. These are highly valued in the hospitality industry. So now I will explain you some common mistakes to avoid. Um, I will give you like some tips. Of course, it's not like a rule because every interview is different. And of course, I think that if you do your best, um, like it will be okay. But for example, to avoid, we can consider to sending generic resumes or using outdated European formats, let's say, like including a picture or like like personal information that might not be um, like good for the resume, let's say. Also to have an incomplete profile of LinkedIn, like no headline or experience listed. Also to overshare personal details in interviews or underselling your achievements is not well seen for recruiters. And to not prepare any questions for the recruiter at the end. Some recruiters might feel that you are not that engaged. So if you can like at the end of the interview ask something, and to be like open and communicative with the recruiter and ask, for example, what are the benefits or some details that you have. That would be great. It will be really appreciated. So I think that were like the main points that I had to explain. But of course, if you have any question or anything that you want to ask, I'm here open to answer everything that you need. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Camila. That was some very insightful tips. And now I would like to leave the floor again to Christina, who will guide us through the important next steps. So she will tell us everything about the F1 visa, also about our programs, locations, and finally, she will also introduce our amazing partners. So Christina, please have the floor.
Of course, thank you, Kate. So, first of all, how to go with our program. It's regarding the F1 visa, and what an F1 visa is essentially is a non-immigrant student visa, which allows international students to be able to study full-time with specifically accredited institutions in the United States. It's specifically designed for academic programs like our bachelor's and master's programs that we have to provide. While you're on the F1 visa, you're going to be able to study in the United States for the duration of the studies. And in a lot of the cases, specifically with us as well, you're also eligible for practical training, work experience during the program as well as afterwards. Now, regarding the programs that we have available, as I mentioned previously, we have a master's specifically in business administration, as well as a hospitality certification adopted into it. So you graduate with a dual certification, much like our bachelor's, which also has a hospitality certification that is adopted into it. Now, moving on to the master's program, just a little bit about the program itself and the requirements to be able to be eligible is you need a recognized bachelor's degree as well as English proficiency, either exam, which you can use Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, or if you've studied your bachelor's in an English language, then you can use a medium of instruction letter to prove that you'll be sufficient in the English language during your studies. Additionally, what the benefit is with the program is you're going to be able to work and study at the same time because it's a hybrid modality, meaning that you can only spend a certain amount of time on campus and therefore you can work at the same time because majority of the coursework is done online. Now, depending on the location, the amount of mandatory campus days are dependent. The GPA requirements are also dependent on the campus that you choose. And regarding your work authorization, you can either choose to do the entire work authorization during your studies or extend your work authorization for an extra year after you graduate. Now, again, this is dependent on your full-time and part-time work. You will be able to book a meeting with us as well to be able to find the logistics in terms of the campus location and your situation to understand what is worked best for you and personalized for your situation. Now, regarding our bachelor's degree is very similar to the master's. However, you are only required to have a high school degree to be able to be eligible for the bachelor's, as well as an English proficiency exam, unless your high school was studied in English. You do have to spend more time on the campus. You need to spend once a week on the campus. And additionally, your work authorization is intact from the second year of the bachelor's program. So your first year of the bachelor's is more focused on the studies of the business administration. Now, just to clarify for both the master's and the bachelor's program, the hospitality certification that's adopted into the program is done online. Okay. Now, in terms of the locations that we have, As of right now, we have 5 locations. We're located in Miami, we're located in Phoenix, Orange County, Washington, D.C., and Detroit. But be sure to be looking at our website and our social medias in case that there are new launches for new locations as well. Moving on towards our partners. What we do is we're partnered with over 500 host company partners, which are reputable hotels and restaurants all over the United States. We are working with different states, and this is where the benefit lies that you have a hybrid modality and you're able to study majority of the program online. Because in this situation, you might find a really great opportunity in a location that's not in one of our campus locations. Right now, the popular partners that we're working with are Rosewood in DC and California. They're active with their hires with F1 students. Ned's Club in Washington, D.C. is very common right now. It's a private social club and hotel right now. Think of it like a Soho House. We have Langham in Chicago. We have multiple White Lodging properties. We have St. Regis in Aspen, as well as Ocean House in Rhode Island. These are the common popular properties that are hiring as of right now. But like I mentioned, we have over 500 properties that we work with that are open to hiring our candidates and students when they get the work authorization. Now, like I mentioned, depending on the personalization and the following slide, please. As I mentioned, with the CPT and OPT, your work authorization, it is dependent on your situation and your eligibility towards the program. So if you are interested, be sure to book a call with us, and we're going to be able to understand your case, your profile more, to be able to advise you on what the best program is for you with us. And that's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Christina, for explaining all of this to our guests here today. So for everybody, I will just repeat again. Make sure to scan the QR code that you see on your screens. So this way you will be able to book a call with our advisors, and you will get more personalized descriptions of our programs and so much more depending on your personal experience, because of course everybody's experience is very different. And that was it. Thank you all so much for joining today. And also a big thank you to Camila and Christina for sharing their insights. It was very interesting, and I hope that all of our guests today will take out a lot from today's webinar. So thank you for being here. And we wish you the very best hospitality journey, and stay tuned to connect on our next webinars. Thank you.